Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. That's right, we're ranking Alien Romulus. Alien Romulus is a 2024 American science fiction horror film. It is the 9th installment in the Alien franchise, set between the events of Alien and Aliens. The movie follows a group of oppressed young space colonists in the pursuit of a better life who encounter hostile creatures while scavenging an abandoned space station. Let's just jump right into the 10 essential aspects of a movie. First is plot. Does the movie follow a comprehensive story arc and is plausible within the world that has been created? When you are making the 9th movie of a franchise, normally you're pulling for something as far as new content. I would say this plot is interesting just because it's not pulling from anything new. It's sliding right into between the first and the second movie, and quite honestly, the plot is very similar to the first movie. It's something I liked about it. Sometimes when you go for something new and creative, especially in a franchise that has fans and a storyline, you might make people upset. And, going back to the first one and almost copying the first plot, yeah, that's probably going to make a couple people upset as well. But personally, this franchise is popular because of the aliens. They're interesting, they're cool, they're scary. The settings are what's creepy. It has a cool style to it, and all those things are present in this movie. And it's a callback to that first one, and I don't mind that. I like that. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. That first movie did well for a reason. This is almost a revamp of that movie with a couple little twists, a couple little differences, with much better aliens, much better cinematography. Things look better, and so I really enjoyed that aspect of the. Second is attraction. Does the movie have an interesting premise with a high entertainment value? Not necessarily. It's nothing different. It's nothing new. These Alien movie has already been made. It's similar to the first one. It's similar to other ones. So it's not bringing anything new to the table. There's a couple small things that are a little different, but for the most part, this movie is exactly what you expect it to be. So I don't think it's calling as something new and different to watch, but it gives you exactly what you think you're going to get. Third is theme. What message or truth is the movie trying to convey? A movie like this, it's not trying to convey a theme. It's just trying to give you the heebie-jeebies and scare you. That's what it's trying to do. There's no overall message. Fourth is dialogue. Is there a real feel to the conversations? This is one of those movies that just falls right in the middle. The dialogue isn't amazing. It's not going to blow you away or anything, do anything new, but it's also not bad. It's exactly what it needed to be. Fifth is acting. Are the characters convincing? Now this movie, it falls in that horror, thriller, slasher aspect of movies, that genre of movies, and there's not many Oscar winners coming out of there. These movies don't require that good of acting. They usually never have that good of acting. Actually, I would say most of the time the acting is pretty bad. This movie, it's fine. All the actors do a good job. All the actors and actresses do exactly what they need to do. I don't feel any of them were bad. In fact, I would like to point out David Johnson, who was Andy, who is a robot in this movie. Without giving any, spoilers, there's some scenes that require some acting, and he does a good job. I liked his character, and I liked the way he portrayed the character. I thought he did a good job. Especially, it's kind of weird when you're acting as a robot, so I thought he handled that really well. 6 is cinematography. Is there a creative use of lighting, setting, and wardrobe to convey emotion? Now, this is a part of the movie that they just nailed to me. I really enjoyed it, and part of it is not exactly this movie. It's kind of the franchise idea of Alien, but they could have decided to do some stuff wrong and they didn't. When you go to this movie, you're looking for fear. I mean, you're looking to get the hair raised on your skin, get that chicken skin, get scared, get nervous, not knowing what's going to happen, and that's what it does, and it does it really well. It gets you scared. I love it. The aliens and the setting are used well together. There's some cool new situations in this film that weren't in the previous ones that I enjoyed. It's just enough of a little twist from the original for you to feel like it's different, and they do such a good job with it. You're scared throughout this movie. One thing that has always been good throughout these movies is style. It's that that 80s future look. It's like the 80s style never left, but humans just kept on progressing. And it's such a unique, cool look that I love. All the computers, the way the ship looks, I just enjoy it. I think it's very satisfying to look at. This movie, the practical effects, the aliens are really well done. There's not much CGI. There is a little CGI, and if you've watched the movie, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, you will know. There's a character that just... it's atrocious. It looks really bad. It looks like somebody who's just learning it in high school took the job. And it's just not good. Luckily, it's like the only thing in the movie that looks that bad. So you can kind of get over it. There was a creative style twist towards the end. Something different that I thought was really creepy, and it was done really well. The style was cool. I mean, it was like, I'm not somebody that gets creeped out, but I was creeped out at this thing. If you've seen it, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. It is just, it's weird. I didn't like it, but in a good way. You know what I mean? But I thought that the style and the feelings of this film were done really well, and it's something that is really elevating this movie for me. Seventh is editing. This is all about the pace of the movie. The movie is an hour and 59 minutes long. It's a little long. Maybe not just because of the runtime, but I feel this movie ended like 2 or 3 times. There's a couple times you think, oh yeah, it's done. Oh, it's not done. Oh yeah, it's done. Oh, it's not done. And that's kind of a theme that goes along with all of the movies. And it kind of makes all of the movies kind of long, if I remember correctly. It's not too bad, but there is definitely a point that I got to that I was like, okay, like, is this the end? Please be the end, because I'm kind of done. But it wrapped up when it needed to wrap up. I would just say it's just a little long. 8th is soundtrack. There's nothing super memorable about this soundtrack. It did what it needed to do. It was creepy, but it wasn't something that I'm going to remember. 9th is directing. Now, I believe a director is in charge of the previous 8 aspects. He's the one that's got to put it all together, give it the stamp of approval, make a good movie. Now, the director is Fede Alvarez. I think it's Fede. This is his 4th movie. He had previously directed Evil Dead, Don't Breathe, The Girl in the Spider's Web, and then Alien Romulus. I've never seen... I have seen Don't Breathe. I didn't see the newer Evil Dead. I enjoyed Don't Breathe from what I remember. It was a while ago that I watched it. I liked this movie. I thought he did a good job with it. He used a lot of the aspects that made the franchise good. It made the original good, and then he put his own little twists on it that were just enough to not make it feel like something crazy different, but new. And I enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it. I had a good time watching this film. I think he did a good job putting together the new with the old. 10th is time. Does it stand the test of time? It will stand the test of time as a good movie, as a scary movie. Personally, I will always think it's something that's good and scary, and I'll watch it again. I'll throw it on just for the fun of it. If I want to watch some people die by alien, that's what I'll watch. However, it's not going to stand out. It's not going to be a classic. It's already got predecessors that were very similar, and they did it first. So it doesn't do anything new enough to make it a classic, but it's still a good time, and I think it will always be a good time. Now for the ratings section. Rotten Tomatoes critics give it an 80, the audience gives it an 86, and IMDb gives it a 74. I think these are all right around the money. I would probably agree with the critics at that 80 mark. It's a good movie. Now, as far as against every movie ever made, it's missing some of those crucial aspects to make it a classic. But I'd say that 80 range is made for those movies that are they're done well. They're good movies. They will always be good movies, but they're not crazy good. They're nothing that's going to stand out against the others and as a cult classic. It doesn't do that, but it is a good movie. I would put it right around that 80 mark. All right, finally for the rankings. Now for the year of 2024 on the entertainment side, I have it 4th. Just below Deadpool and Wolverine and above Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's below Deadpool and Wolverine just because Deadpool and Wolverine, it does have a little bit of that good balance between somewhat serious and funny. It's majority funny, somewhat serious, and it does a good job. It's still an entertaining movie. This movie, it's very serious. It's scary, and that's not always something that plays to entertaining all the time. But it's still a good movie to watch. It's still entertaining. I still put it over Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. It's just a movie that's done better. I believe Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes they're somewhat similar in an entertaining sense. They're both serious, but Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes just kind of fell short for me. It's not a great movie. It doesn't complete things. It's a little bit of a mess. I thought Alien Romulus does its job well, and so for a serious movie, it's also entertaining because it's just done fairly well. For cinematography, I'm going to have it second, just below Civil War and above Trap. Now, the reason I have it above Trap is just that feeling it gives you, that fear. I personally don't think that's going to go away, even though you've watched the movie. You might have seen the movie, but it's still it's tense. They do a good job with the music and the lighting and the scenes to make you feel that tense scene. Trap, it does a good job of also keeping you suspended, keeping you on edge. But once you've watched it, I feel like that edge is going to go away. And so that's what gives it that bump over Trap. I put it below Civil War just because Civil War it's the feelings that it gives you cinematically. I feel it actually has a purpose, a message, and it makes you feel a different way that is deeper than just fear. It makes you feel a lot of things. And so I feel it represents film better in that aspect. For the decade of the 2020s, it's going to be the same on both sides, just because I haven't done a movie outside of 2024 in the 2020s. For all time, on the entertainment side, I'm going to have it 7th, just below Deadpool, Wolverine, and above No Country for Old Men. It's above No Country for Old Men. The only reason No Country for Old Men is even this high on the entertainment side is just because the acting's done really well, and it's got a couple killing scenes that I find entertaining and I like, and the movie somewhat puts you on edge for the most part. I just think Alien Romulus is something that appeals to me more. I like the premise of and the setting of Alien Romulus better than No Country for Old Men, but I could see why people would maybe flip-flop that. I just personally like that space and alien setting better than what was going on in No Country for Old Men, and I've already explained why it's below Deadpool and Wolverine. Now, cinematically, I have it actually 3rd, just below Civil War and above Trap. Same ratings. It's a really good movie. It does a lot of things well, and I think that's what boosts it above a lot of movies. There's usually somewhere to pick and pull that has been done bad in a movie. This one, I don't know where that's at. The only thing you could maybe pry at is that it's not unique and the acting isn't crazy good, but honestly, I don't know what you would expect out of a movie like this, so it hit my expectations, and it doesn't do anything that bad, so it launched it up to 3rd for me all time. That's all I've got for Alien Romulus. Please write a comment, let me know what you thought, and make sure you subscribe if you want to see more movies being ranked. Make sure you comment what movie you want me to review next, but otherwise, I'm Mr. Majoritarian. Stay classy, San Diego.